Okay, back again. Another question out of 3C. This is number 15, the last one in the exercise, and it really makes you think, this one. Great question, very good exam style question. It says a particle travels in a straight line, rectilinear motion, with an acceleration at a time t seconds equal to 3t plus 2. The particle has an initial positive velocity, so when t equals 0, it's heading towards the right, and travels 30 metres in the fourth second. Now, look at this diagram here. This is our time along here. Now, you've got to recognise that this is the first second. This is the second, third, fourth, fifth second. Now, people in my class have heard this many times. Think about this as years of your life. When you were born, you can't have negative years. When you were born, you were only a couple of days old, but you were in your first year of life. When you had your first birthday, you flipped over into your second year of life. If you're a student in WA at the moment doing year 12, you are in your second decade of life. You haven't turned 20 yet, but you're in your second decade of life. Okay? So always think about that. So the fourth second is right here. That's the difference between x of 4 minus x of 3. So travelling 30 metres in the fourth second means that this must be true. Now, because we've got that, I'm now thinking, you know what, maybe I can find a formula for the displacement by integrating a couple of times. And by doing that, I can then do one minus the other, and maybe some of the plus C plus D stuff will cancel out. I think that's where I'm going. Let's see. So this is the final question, but let's not worry about that. Let's integrate that. So if we go velocity of t equals the integral of acceleration of t dt, integrating that, I'm going to get 3t squared over 2 plus 2t plus c. Now, this is where this guy, I think, is going to come in. Because when t equals 0, the velocity's got to be positive. When t equals 0, the velocity's got to be positive. If I put t equals 0 in here, then that means that c must be greater than 0. Putting 0 in will mean that both of these are 0, so c. I think really this is telling me that c must be greater than 0. I don't think I can get much more than that at this stage. Okay? Let's integrate again. Okay, so we've got velocity here. We don't really have any information I can input. So let's integrate again. V of t. Let's go that x of t is going to be the integral of v of t dt. Now, integrating this one, raise the power by 1, divide. It's going to cancel that 3. So it's going to be t cubed over 2. This is going to become t squared plus ct plus d. Okay? Now, that looks okay. I'm happy with this. Now look at this. Because I've got 4 and 3 here, if I was to substitute those in, this I think is going to cancel out. I think this is going to cancel out. So, let's have a look here. If I put it into this formula here now, I'll get 30 equals. Now, x of 4 is going to be 4 in here. So 4 cubed, 16, 64 over 2. That's going to be 32 plus 16, 4 squared, plus 4t. Oh, sorry, actually, no, sorry, 4c. Now, it would be plus d, okay? But then I'm going to minus all of this. So it's going to be minus, I'll put a bracket for the moment, I'll get rid of it in a minute. 3 cubed is 27. So this is going to be 13 and a half, 27 divided by 2, plus 9, plus 3c, and plus d. Now, because I've got this minus here, I'm going to move that in by changing that, and all of these have to go to negatives. Right, so now you should see that this guy and this guy are going to cancel. That's good, okay? Can you see that 4c and 3c, minus 3c, will just leave me with c? So I think from this, I'm going to be able to figure out what c is, okay? Now, that's going to be okay, I think. So C is going to be some number which must be positive because of what I figured out here. Okay. It only asked me for the velocity at 5, so I don't actually need to work out D. Well, I don't have the information here to do it anyway, but I think working this out will get me C, will get me this equation, and then I'll be able to do that. Let's see how we go. Maybe pause the video, have a crack, and then see if we get the same answer. What do we got? We've got 48 here, so I'll leave it this way for the moment. 30 equals 48. Now, what do we got here? This is going to be minus 22 and a half. So 48 minus 22 is going to be 26 minus 1.5, 25 and a half. Bring it over this side is going to be minus 25 and a half. And I've got 4C minus 3C, that's just going to equal C. So this is just going to be 4.5 or 9 on 2. So I reckon C is going to be 4.5. Now that matches really well with this right here, that C has to be greater than 0. I couldn't have got a negative answer out, I don't think. So that's okay. So then if we come up to this, let's rewrite this guy as V of T equals 3T squared over 2 plus 2T plus 4.5. And then if I put 5 in, V of 5 equals, this is going to be 25, 75, 37 and a half. This is going to be 10. And then what have we got? Add the halves, that makes 38. Add the 4 is 42, 52. Now this will be in meters per second. Hopefully I've got this one right. The process is good. I might have made a mistake in the numbers, but the process looks pretty good. A lot of thinking in this one. Enjoy. See you later.